Hey y'all, this is Dr. Tasha, and so many times I post videos about certain products and then people have so many questions and, well, where do I get it and what is it and how is this any different than anything else and blah blah blah. So I'm like, let's put it all in one place, okay? I'm gonna put this video up on my personal Instagram, which is Dr. Tasha Rogers. I'm gonna put it up on my Clean and Cute Instagram. I'm also gonna put this video up as a short, I think, on YouTube, okay? So let's talk about all the products. This is the Clean and Cute line. First of all, Clean and Cute can be purchased at cleanandcute.shop. Okay, that's Clean and Cute, the whole word, cleanandcute.shop. And if you are local to Atlanta, you can actually pick up at our warehouse so that you don't have to pay for shipping. And at some point, we're going to get in front of things and you're going to be able to get these things at my office if you're my patient, okay? And even if you're not the patient, you can we prefer for you to walk into the warehouse, not walk into the warehouse, we prefer you to pick up at the warehouse if you're local, okay? If not, we ship all over the world. We ship to Canada, we've shipped to Africa, France, whatever. We just ask that you kind of contact us so we can work out the shipping, but nowhere is too far. And we try to cut out the middleman so you guys don't incur any additional costs. And that's why we ask you to go to cleanandcute.shop. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the products and exactly why this company came about. This is not something that I just designed, right? And I don't even remember the patient's name. Whoever you are, thank you so much for putting this in my mind and my heart. I really don't even remember who it is. It's not a regular. This is a patient who came from out of town to see me. And I'm sure you guys have already heard, but my undergraduate degree is in chemistry. And never did I ever think that would help me do anything like this. I was just basically if I don't get into medical school, I got to be able to make some money because these biology people, they don't do nothing but go to the lab and make $20,000 a year. Baby, I got to be able to make a coin because I ain't fitting to stay in the hood. Shout out to the hood. I just don't want to be in it, okay? So I was like, I got to be able to make some money. So lo and behold, obviously, I did get into medical school. And let's fast forward to me being, 5 years into my own practice. And a patient came from out of state because y'all know I don't play. Your girl is the Vaginitis slayer, okay? There's never been a case of vaginitis that I have not successfully treated. And the patient came from out of state. And she was here for, I guess, about a week or two with her family. I treated her for vaginitis, and she called me back, and she's like, no, doc, I still got it. Well, the ego in me, and my eyebrow went up, and I'm like, wait, you got what? And she was like, yeah, I'm like, come on back in. Because my attitude is I missed something. I had to have missed something because the blueprint is the blueprint. And the blueprinting be blueprinting. So I was like, okay, come on back in. And this lady literally walked me through it. I take a shower at night, okay? And I go to the bathroom at night and everything is fine, okay? I get up in the morning, everything is fine. I don't smell anything. All right, I put my underwear on, everything is fine. I go to work, everything is fine. And she's like, I go to use the restroom at midday, around lunchtime. And she goes, after that, I use the restroom at midday. I go to lunch. I come back, use the bathroom again. After that, I'm just fishy. And I was like, went through that in my mind. So I told her, I said, can you urinate for me? And obviously I check for UTI and all that stuff, but she urinated, and we keep fresh, new underwear in the office at all times. And so she urinated, and I took a dropper, and I dropped a bunch of urine in the crotch of the panties that she was wearing. And I sat them to the side. We gave her new panties, and she just kept going on and on about nobody can fix this, and her life is over, and I was her last-ditch effort, and blah, 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 blah. And after about 5 minutes or 7 minutes of that, I handed her panties, and I'm like, is this what you smell? And she was like, oh, my God. And then the chemist mind in me came up because this lady did not have an infection. And if you all know me, I check for 7 different types of vaginitis, I check for 5 different types of yeast, but 3 different types are actually in the vagina, 2 different cervical infections, and 3 different STDs. This lady had nothing. But what she did have is she had a pair of underwear that when the urine hit her underwear, they became soiled and smelling badly. And my mind was like, well, why? I don't think this lady wears dirty underwear. I think that something else is happening. And I went into the lab. Literally. If you know me, one thing I love, I'm going to have a notebook. I'm going to have a journal book. I'm going to have a notebook. Every time I go to Home Goods, Marshalls, anywhere, I'm going to buy 3 or 4 notepads. I'm going to go to stationery stores. It's just my jam. I like to write things down. It makes me feel organized, right? So I went and got a new book. And I said, and I asked her, I said, what type of detergent do you use? So she told me what type of detergent she used. And then I said, well, how long have you had these panties? On God, on Mary, Jesus, and Joseph, on God. This lady might have been 32. She said, I don't know, I had these since high school. Now, I don't know what's going on out in these underwear streets, okay? But I don't know any pair of drawers that cost so much or of such good quality that you should have them for about 16 years. Now, we have come far in the underwear game because it used to be the Victoria's Secret 7 for $37. Okay, we have come far. They sell them on Amazon. They sell them at Temu. They sell them at Shein. They sell them at the dollar store. Okay, there is no damn reason why you should have a pair of panties for 17 years. But in her defense, you know, she felt like they didn't have any holes. They were fine. They were holding her up. And with this, I automatically said, okay, what we need to do immediately is start a clean panty campaign. Okay, and that is when every 6 months, you're going to take a few dollars. You're going to take about $20, $25, and you're going to go buy you some new panties. But you're not just going to put them in a drawer. You're going to go and take out 5 old pair, the oldest pair you can find, and put 5 new pair in. And we're going to do that every time you get a little bit of coin, a little bit of something you want to treat yourself. Not enough where you can buy yourself some clothes or some shoes, okay? A little bit more than you buy yourself a lipstick. Go get you some new drawers, okay? And I call them drawers because that's how we just got to see it sometimes. Now, what that did is it made me say, like, what the hell? Like, why are her panties, which I'm sure she washes, why are they, as soon as urine hits them, why are they smelly? What is happening? And so I went to whatever detergent she says she used, and I went to the ingredients list, and I learned some things. And a lot of things they'll say proprietary, but I learned some things. And I looked at all the ingredients, and if there were about 15 ingredients, 10 of the ingredients actually were carcinogens, meaning they actually cause cancer. Another 2 of the ingredients, when they wash into the waterway, so when they go from your washing machine into your pipes, into the reservoir, into the river, and all the things, they actually coat the gills of the fish, and it can smother the fish. Okay. And outside of that, and looking at one of the ingredients, because I also had to look, one of them was color. And a lot of detergents are blue and green. And the reason for that is if you look at the color wheel, if you look at the spectrum of color and light, blue and green make your whites look whiter. They're not, but they look that way. Also, what I learned is a couple of the ingredients, they do not actually remove dirt from the article of clothing. They lift it, and it actually embeds the dirt deeper into the fibers of the cotton. So now we have a situation where, outside of the fact that your skin is your largest organ and we're exposing it on a regular basis to chemicals that cause cancer, we have chemicals that are not actually rinsing out the dirt, but embedding it further into the fibers of the article. Then we have coloring to make your whites look whiter when nothing is actually cleaner. And yeah, why do you think you guys are using scent boosters all the time? Because the clothes are still dirty. If they're clean, why do you need a scent booster? I'm just asking. Maybe you should ask yourself. So at the end of the day, I said, we can do this better. Like, we can do this better. It's soap. It is soap. Why do we need to be causing cancer? It's soap. And so what I said was, I looked at the infections. You know, you have gram-positive, gram-negative, aerobic, anaerobic. I looked at the types of infections, or what we call bugs. But I looked at the type of bugs that actually come from vaginitis, that come from yeast, and different things that break down blood and all the things. And I said, okay, well, and I started developing a preservative that would break all those things down. Because soap is soap. All the soap base is the same. It's all the same. Soap is soap. It's what you put in the soap. And so I have the preservative in, and that sparked this product, which is the Clean and Cute Panty Wash. This was our original product. This is OG, okay? And with the panty wash, what it does is it's all natural. The base of it is just an all natural soap. Okay. And it has like a bunch of different oils and safflower oils and this oil and that oil and so many different, it's just all natural things. But the proprietary part is the preservative that I developed that is going to break down the aerobics, the anaerobics, the particles in blood, all the things. And then my mind also got to wondering because in the reading I came across, in my reading and my studying, I came across, mold. And a lot of times when, people have mold in the home, they don't realize that they have mold in the washer. And I'm like, why would you have mold in a washer? Because it's wet and it's dark. And it's sitting for a prolonged period of time. And I'm like, well, damn, some of y'all panties are wet and dark and sitting for a prolonged period of time. I mean, a week is not prolonged, but to have moist panties in a hamper for a week, well, are we growing mold on our underwear as well? Which could also be causing irritation and vaginal itching and vulvar itching rather, and just all around irritation. So let's go ahead on and bust that up and break that down and clear that out too. And so anybody who has used the panty wash, I think you understand it has a very light, like lemongrass scent. Very light scent. We don't do perfumey around here. We do pleasant scents, but not perfumey. And this is our original. This is near and dear to my heart. This is what started the company. And I would get requests all the time for women to say, well, can my man use it? Can my man use it? And da-da-da-da-da. And yes, your man can use it, but your man has a distinct different set of concerns outside of the fact that, and this is not all men, so please don't be offended by this, sis and bro, outside of the fact that men don't necessarily wipe as well as they need to sometimes. And so a friend of mine, shout out Bling, said, yes, honey, because this thing, it gets out the streaky deekies. And I'm like, the streaky deekies, but I love that. And basically that was, for males who have like doodle streaks in their underwear. If you're a woman who have done their underwear, if you're a male who do your own laundry, their laundry, you've done their laundry, or you're a male who does your own laundry. Yeah, you get some streaks sometimes. And then we have to be worried about with males, they have testicles or balls or scrotum or whatever you want to call it, but it's sweaty up under there. It gets hot. They got to readjust. It sweats. Again, another dark environment where we're not necessarily worried about mold, but what we are worried about is athlete's foot and jock itch and different things like that. And again, with this particular detergent, again, all natural, but we just changed the preservative so that it is getting the E. coli out, is getting the Klebsiella out, is getting the Pseudomonas out, all the things that are in the Enterococcus, all the things that are going to be in the poop, which is the same as with the panty wash, but it's also addressing fungal infections, the jock itch, and all of those different things that are associated with a male is going to experience. And it has a whole different, I love the smell of this stuff. I really, really do. It is like a fig, like an autumn fig type of, I really can't explain it because it's not hardcore masculine, but it is very, I don't know, it's an amazing, amazing aroma. And so then the underwear thing. So then, of course, you give people inch, they take a mile, and they were like, okay, well, can you do all the clothes with it? Can you do everything with it? Can you? And I'm like, oh, Lord, y'all are killing me because y'all press me. Y'all push me to, not press me in a negative way, but y'all push me to create products. My goal is to always fix a problem, right? Never to just sell you stuff, to fix a problem. And so I'm like, well, yeah, of course, you can use it for your regular clothes. But then I started to think about what all is exposed to the regular clothes. On all of your skin, you have staph, you have strep. People have issues with eczema. People have, all different types of fungal infections, dry skin, hyperpigmentation. But yet we have to have something that's going to clean all of the bugs that your everyday clothing come in contact with, and actually lift the dirt up out of your clothes and actually make your clothes brighter without any color faking or any of that kind of stuff. So in walks Clean and Cute Home. Okay. And this too has an amazing aroma. I love it. Again, everything in my line is all natural. Okay. Everything, because we can do it without chemicals. It's more expensive, very much more expensive, but it's doable. People are willing and wanting to pay for healthy care. And so this is the home. This is what it looks like. You use a cap full. It is absolutely amazing. It has a beautiful aroma as well. I love it for my people who have, for everybody actually, but especially I want people to think about it who have issues with acne. You don't have to worry about sleeping on sheets that will have, where body acne is a thing or your facial acne is a thing. People don't realize that you sweat at night and all rolling over back and forth in your covers. That's dead skin that's being expelled on those covers. Or I take a shower before I go to sleep. It doesn't matter. It's skin and it rubs off. And so it's very, very important. Again, outside of just underwear hygiene and switching out your underwear, as far as your linen is concerned, especially towels, especially sheets, you need to be changing these things out. Now, for me, I'm a little bit obsessive. I use a different towel every day. Some people don't do that. As far as bed linen is concerned, I change out my bed linen once a week. Sundays is usually my day to change out my linen, especially that. And I usually will keep my hair slick a lot of times. I sleep with a headscarf on and a bonnet. But those products, those slicking products, those oils, they get on my pillows. And I don't want to suffer with any more skin issues than I already have. So I'm very careful to make sure that I'm changing out my linen and making sure that I'm cleaning it with Clean and Cute Home so that I'm not worsening any type of inflammation, any skin irritations, any eczemas, any of those things. Okay. So the home, again, all natural, and it smells amazing. Again, we don't do heavy perfumes. We don't do heavy odors and aromas. And anything that we use to create a scent with the products, it's their essential oils. They're all natural essential oils. So again, and you guys know how expensive essential oils can be. But like I said, we got to stop looking at the cost of things and we got to start looking at the care of things. And that is what we do here. And again, all about caring for ourselves and having natural care. All right. Now we have another product. This is called the Clean and Cute Minis. I think these are adorable. This is the same as this, except the minis are for travel. You might not want to check this whole big giant thing. They throwing around your stuff. TSA don't care about your stuff. They checking your stuff, all types of stuff. But when you go away on vacation, cleaning your swimsuit, cleaning your leggings, cleaning your panties, all the things, grab one of these bad boys so you can make sure that, you're cleaning your stuff each night. You may want to wear that swimsuit again another day or so. So Clean and Cute Minis, and this is for travel purposes, or you might want to keep one at your man's house or your girlfriend's house, whatever. We don't care over here. Just buy it. There we go. Now, the next thing I want to talk about before I get into the soaps, the 3 newest products, before I get into those, I want to talk about the Vag Steam. Now, most importantly, this is 2 Vag Steams. It's 2, right? Yeah, this is 2 Vag Steams in this bag, okay? I am big on the Vag Steam. If you know anything about me, I'm big on Eastern medicine. I think it works. When we talk about vaginal steaming, it has worked for years. But I want to let y'all know something, okay? When it comes to Vag Steam, the reason that I created one is because you got people out here that are scamming big time. They big scammers. They basically got y'all sitting on top of a crab boil. They done put some Old Bay, some oregano, some salt, and some rosemary in a thing, and they like, sit here and steam it. No, again, what way made me develop this? One of my patients came in and said, Dr. Rogers, how you feel about a vag steam? I'm like, oh, they definitely work. You know, in Eastern culture, women who were having period problems, women who had fertility problems, women who were postpartum, they would use vag steam as part of their treatment, and they did well. Why do you ask? So I'm going to have a vag steam at a particular aesthetic place. And I was like, okay, what's in the steam? Because the science is great behind vag steaming, but you got to know what you're steaming. You have to know what these damn chemical, like these herbs are that you're steaming. You can't just be willy-nilly just sitting on top of stuff. Like because if something is truly going to treat an issue, what you doing? Okay, that's just like somebody being like, oh, you got strep throat, let me give you a medication. What is it? I don't know. Grow up. Don't do that. So I said, well, what kind of herbs are they going to be putting in your steam? Oh, I don't know. So I said, well, okay, because I got time today, tomorrow, any other day when it comes to my patients. I said, well, what's the name of this place? So she gave me the name of the place. I said, when you go? I'm going down there after I leave here. So we called. I'm petty. I called. So I said, well, hi, I am looking at, because I want to be like, I'm such and such as doctor, because, you know, people get scared. So I said, well, hi, I'm looking at coming down to have a vag steam. And I just wanted to know what herbs are a part of your steam. And she was like, well, I don't know. It's already prepackaged. Well, prepackaged from where? Ma'am, I don't know. Now, first of all, like, you could tell she didn't own a company, because why are you talking to me like that? Because I could be coming to want to spend some money and your attitude is raggedy. Okay. But nonetheless, lest we digress. And I'm like, so do you have a list of herbs that you use? We don't. Okay. Oh, so then I decided to get a lick. I said, oh, okay. So basically your clients are sitting on complete seasoning and Old Bay. Okay. Thank you. Bye. And I hung up. But that sparked me, because when people hear things like, oh, vag steam, and then you go look up the history of a vag steam and you see that it actually has a beneficial history, y'all run anywhere to get any kind of help for anything. And I'm just like, no, like literally when you get this vag steam, we have about, I don't know, I don't even know how many, anywhere between 12 and 18 different herbs that we use. We use Chinese herbs, and each one of them has a reasoning behind it, and they have a thing that they treat and a thing that they fix, that has been, you know, long studied in Chinese medicine. And so if you're going to do a steam, get all the stuff, the equipment. I think you can get it from like Amazon, and do your steam at home. This contains 2 steams. And if anybody were going to ask about the frequency, I would say maybe once every few months at the change of a season. You know, surely, if you've had a medical issue, you know, you want to talk to your doctor at postpartum, but I would say 8 to 10 weeks postpartum, you probably can do a steam. Never, ever, 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 ever do one if you're pregnant, ever. Okay. But if this is just something you having painful periods, you have heavy periods, you have, you know, infrequent periods, your period blood is not smelling normal, all of these things after being checked out by a doctor, after being actually treated for a medical condition, I think that a vag steam is certainly something that should be a part of your all-natural regimen and routine. Okay. So again, if you order our vag steam, you get a list of, you know, pearls, like things to know. You get a list of precautions, and you get a list of what actual herbs you are sitting your behind, literally and figuratively, on top of. Okay? Got it. Okay, so now we're at the 3 newest products, which are my babies. I can't even call it the newest product anymore. This is the eczema soap, y'all. Yes. I love this. Okay. So the reason that I did this is because a lot of patients would come in and talk about their eczema, and they didn't want to be on injectables for their eczema. They were using different creams and lotions, steroid creams, and all the different things that they didn't feel were helping, or they just were very uncomfortable with those things. And I'm just like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, when you have skin conditions like and this is good for like rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, dry skin, all of it. A A lot of times, hot showers make it worse. What kind of soap you're working, and everybody's always like oatmeal soap, oatmeal soap. Okay, that's cool. That's what y'all want to do. That is cool. I don't have any problems with that. But the goal is to hydrate the skin and moisturize the skin. And this soap, although it has maybe like a very, very, very small component of colloid oatmeal. This is mostly oils. It's chia seeds, a little bit of colloid oatmeal, and probably about maybe 6 or 7 are the oils. Everything from wheat germ oil to eucalyptus oil to burdock root oil to aloe vera gel to I don't even know. I can't even safflower oil, castor oil. I can't even call it from. But the way of this dealing is not in a space of oatmeal. And nothing's wrong with oatmeal. Like I said, it has a small component, but this is more oil based into hydrating the skin and getting in the skin and dealing with the inflammation, which also some of the oils prevent hyperpigmentation. Also, some of them are anti-infective, and they will treat some of the low-key infections that you get from breaking the skin from all the scratching. So I've heard that this is very, very soothing. We try to have you not use this on your vagina. But on the rest of your body, it's absolutely magnificent. It feels good. It smells good. And yeah, so this is another one that I've gotten rave reviews about, and it is all about the eczema, rosacea, and psoriasis. So certainly try this one. Now this one, interestingly enough, it's my baby, but not my baby. It's my baby. This is Hydradenitis soap, Hydradenitis suppurativa. And Hydradenitis suppurativa is it is a skin condition that deals with the apocrine glands of the skin. So it's basically kind of where hair grows. So people with hydradenitis, they have issues on the middle aspect of their thigh, under their underarms, under their breast. And it could be their butt cheek, and it's very intense because they're tunnels, but they tract under the skin. Sometimes you can have abscesses. Those abscesses rupture. They cause bleeding with pus and pain. It smells bad. It can be very, very disfiguring. Imagine being a young lady who has hydradenitis on the groin area, on the thigh area, under the breast, and she has, lesions draining and bandages in places, and things look raw, and that person is then trying to have a healthy sex life. Hydradenitis can be very, very, very debilitating. And there's really, the only thing for hydradenitis is after it happens. Hey, clean your body with this and take these antibiotics after it happens. And I just wanted to get into a space and try to help, because there's not a lot out there. Now there's a little bit more. I think there's an injection that we've seen helps with hydradenitis, but people would have very disfiguring surgeries and not be in relationships and be in a lot of pain. And I just always felt like, is there something we can do proactively to help hydradenitis versus waiting until the person actually has an abscess or a flare, is what we call it. And so I created this soap. And it's the HS soap, or the hydradenitis soap. It smells very medicinal. Again, all natural. And it has like turmeric in it for inflammation. It has tea tree in it to help with inflammation as well as to kill infection. It has coconut oil in it. And for people who are allergic to nuts, we do make a nut-free hydradenitis bar. We have, again, the same type of not the same, it's actually a different preservative that I've created to kill the bugs that are usually associated with the infection of the flares with HS. And then I lost track of how many things were in there, but either way. So any ingredients are listed here, but the goal is to keep the skin as clean as possible. You all know when I'm dealing with hydradenitis, I'm always like, make sure you're eating an anti-inflammatory diet that's more like the Mediterranean diet, keeping your body nice and cool. If you can find articles of clothing that actually have cool packs in them, just like, when you're in a hospital having a baby, there are like these big giant underwear things that have like ice packs in them. If you can find those for at-home use, that would be great, especially if your HS is around the groin area. So keeping your body nice and cool, staying nice and hydrated, having an anti-inflammatory diet, and using this every day. Literally, I had a patient who would have regular flares. She started using this, and I think her last flare was like probably a year and a half ago. So we love this, and it does work. All of it works. The next thing is my baby, body wash bar. With the body wash bar, this is my baby. I created this out of necessity in the space of people will say, oh, doc, I want to smell good. I mean, I know, because before I created this, I would recommend Dove White Bar Soap, the white, the original, the OG. That's it before I created this. But people are like, I want something that works. I don't want my skin to be dried out. I do want something moisturizing, but I want to smell good. And so, again, I went into the lab and I developed this soap with a bunch of different oils and the aloe veras. It helps with stretch marks. It helps with dry skin. It helps with hyperpigmentation. It's just all the things. It is that girl. And it is all natural yet again. And I did put a very, very beautifully fragrant essential oil in it. It literally smells like you're in the shower, outdoors, on vacation, across the world, in Marrakesh or Bali or somewhere crazy like that. It is so refreshing. It smells up your entire master suite. Like it's that girl. And again, it helps with dry skin, all natural, and smells beautiful. So I love this. You guys are loving this, and I'm so grateful that I created it. Now, Junior. We get to talk about Junior. I'm so happy. This is the newest creation. I get to profile my nails. Let me do that. I get to profile my nails and show y'all Junior. Now, let me tell you about Junior. It is called the spray. Okay, let me tell y'all why. First of all, when people out of here start talking about this bad back wind, baby, these BBL booty smells and all the stuff. Yeah, we want to know the reasoning behind it. How can we fix it? How can we do this? But baby, sometimes we just need immediate relief. We just need to be like, yeah, but today when I go to work, what is I'm supposed to do? And in walks the spray. 4-ounce bottle, okay, metal container. You can't really hear it. You can shake it all over the place. Nobody will really hear it. You see? Can't really hear it. And please shake before each use, because you want that perfume everywhere, baby. And this is good for linen. It is a linen spray. You can spray around your home. And again, all natural. It is not going to cause any carcinogen. It's safe for your pets. It's safe for your kids. It's safe for your acne. It's just safe, okay? So you can spray down your linen. Like I said, y'all really should be changing that once a week, but sometimes you get caught up. We don't judge over here, but just make sure you're nice and fresh, okay? Make sure you can squirt down your house before guests come. Make sure it's nice and fresh. You know, somebody walk past you, you like, ooh, honey, you can squirt behind them. If they turn around and say, what's that? Be like, nothing. Yes, if you not sure, you go into a public bathroom, and again, you're supposed to leave it better than what you came, and you go in a public bathroom and you ain't sure, you know, there's a line of people waiting for your stall. You ain't confident, go ahead and give it a couple of squirts. So they're gonna be like, oh, it smells nice in here. Yes, honey. Also, you know, I told y'all be going to the auntie's house and y'all be sitting on them couches sweating. And, you know, it's always a little, you know, child that, you know, a little colorful. And they run, you know, I don't know why people do this, but they run to the sofa and smell the sofa after folk get up. You want to squirt, you know, make sure you good. And this is that thing. This is that girl. You can literally squirt anything. No, again, it doesn't smell like perfume, roses, lavender. It really smells like if you've ever gone to a spa and like a luxury hotel, and it's like, it's a beautiful, fresh fragrance, but it's not heavy. It's not overwhelming. It's not like, it's not like any of that. It's just, it's fragrant, but it's light. It's going to carry, but it's light. Let me tell y'all what, I don't even know. Like I said, it just smells like you're on vacation. It makes you smell like you're at the spa on vacation. So it's something that you could add to any environment. Somebody's home, it wouldn't be offensive. The bathroom, it's not going to be clear that you sprayed some perfume behind yourself. It's just going to smell like there's a beautiful essence that travels with you. And I'm so excited about this. This is our newest product. It literally just hit our website. And so we're super duper proud of it, and we want your response with it. So that's it. And I'm not creating anything else for the remainder. I say that all the time. I'm not creating anything else for the remainder of 2025. I'm tired. I'm tired of creating stuff. I'm tired. Because guess what? Whether y'all believe it or not, none of this stuff is mass manufactured. I make and pour all the soap by hand. I have help with the liquid soaps, but I make the steam by hand. I make the spray by hand. I make all the soaps by hand, and I do have help. The proprietary part is proprietary, because did y'all ever hear the man who owned Coca-Cola tell everybody what was in his formula? No. But my team has been A1 from day one, so they do help me with the liquid soaps, but everything else is literally on me. So I'm literally not creating anything else for 2025 because the girl is tired. But if there's ever a question as to what's going on with the products, what the products are for, how they work, I hope this video serves you well. I'll post it constantly on Clean and Cute, occasionally on Dr. Tasha, and you can also find it on my YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. And again, if you want to shop, go to cleanandcute.shop, and we also have a subscription program. So you can literally have a monthly, here, I want my stuff every month. We certainly have that. And then we also have a program where if you send us a 1-minute video, and 1 minute is a long time. If you send us a 1-minute video, we'll send you a discount code and we'll post your video. We'll blur out your face if necessary, but we will post your video in exchange for a 10% discount code. Okay, so hope you learned something. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for your support of cleanandcute.shop.